Right now, somewhere in your head, there's a courtroom. You're the defendant. And the jury? It's everyone. Your coworkers, your ex, that one cousin who never even liked you that much. They're all sitting up there, watching, judging, deciding whether you're smart enough, thin enough, successful enough. Here's the twist nobody tells you. You built that courtroom yourself. You appointed every juror, and most of them aren't even thinking about you right now. They're too busy sitting in their own courtroom worrying about what you think of them. 2,000 years ago, a Roman emperor figured this out. A man who had more critics, more enemies, and more people whispering about him than you will ever have in your lifetime. And he wrote himself a note in the middle of a war camp, reminding himself of exactly this trap. His name was Marcus Aurelius, and today we're going to use his playbook and the entire school of thought behind it, Stoicism, to help you finally put down a weight you've been carrying since you were old enough to notice people looking at you. This is how you stop caring what people think. Let's be honest about something first. Caring what people think isn't a character flaw. It's not weakness. It's biology. For most of human history, being disliked by your tribe didn't just hurt your feelings, it could get you exiled, left alone in the wilderness. And alone, back then, meant dead. So your brain built a smoke alarm for social rejection, wired directly into the same threat system that handles physical danger. That's why an unanswered text can feel like a punch to the gut. Why one critical comment can erase 50 compliments. Your nervous system isn't being dramatic, it's doing exactly what it evolved to do. The problem is, that alarm was built for a world of maybe 150 people you'd meet in your entire life. Now, you're on a stage with millions. Every post, every opinion, every outfit is a performance in front of an audience that never stops watching. Or at least that's what it feels like. So, we perform. We shrink our opinions to fit the room. We stay in jobs, relationships, and versions of ourselves we've outgrown because changing might mean someone, somewhere, raises an eyebrow. And the cruelest part, the people we're performing for are doing the exact same thing for us. Everyone's acting for an audience that's too busy acting to actually watch the show. So how do you get off this stage? Not by getting louder, not by not caring through sheer willpower. That never works. You get off the stage by changing what you believe is actually yours to control. And that's where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism gets a bad reputation. People hear the word and picture a man with no emotions, gritting his teeth through life. That's not it. Real Stoicism is one of the most emotionally intelligent systems human beings ever built. And it starts with a single idea so simple it fits in one sentence. Some things are up to us, some things are not. That's it. That's the whole engine. It comes from Epictetus, a man who, and this matters, started his life as a slave. He owned nothing. His body wasn't even legally his own. And yet he became one of the most influential philosophers in history because he discovered the one thing that couldn't be taken from him: his own judgments, his own mind, his own responses. Epictetus taught that your opinions, your reputation, other people's approval, none of that belongs to you. It never did. You can influence it, sure. You can be kind, be good at what you do, show up with integrity. But the final verdict, not whether someone likes you, respects you, agrees with you, that pen is in their hand, not yours. And torturing yourself trying to control something you were never given control over, that's the actual source of most of your suffering, not the opinion itself. The grasping for control over it. Now here's where it gets personal. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man on earth at the time, kept a private journal, never meant to be published, where he coached himself through this exact struggle. We now call it Meditations. And in it, he writes things like, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." He wasn't being morbid. He was using mortality as a filter. If this were your last day, would you actually spend it worrying about a comment section? He also wrote something almost shocking for an emperor, that even he couldn't stop people from having opinions of him, and trying to control that would be like being upset that a fig tree produces figs. It's just what people do. They judge, they gossip, they project their own fears onto you. Expecting otherwise isn't peace. It's a setup for constant disappointment. There's a third idea the Stoics use, sometimes called the view from above. Imagine zooming out on past your street, your city, your country, out past the clouds, out past the atmosphere, until Earth is just a small blue marble hanging in black space. Somewhere on that marble, invisible from here, is the person whose opinion has been keeping you up at night. From up there, does it still feel like the most important thing in the universe? This isn't about believing you don't matter, it's the opposite. It's about realizing that you deciding what matters is the whole point, not outsourcing that decision to a jury that never asked to be appointed in the first place. Okay, philosophy is beautiful, but it means nothing if it doesn't change what you do on a random Tuesday when someone leaves a comment that ruins your whole afternoon. So let's make this practical. 3 tools you can use today. First, the control check. Next time you catch yourself spiraling over someone's opinion, ask one question. Is this actually mine to control? Their opinion of you, not yours. Your effort, your honesty, your next action, completely yours. Every time you feel that anxious grip, sort the situation into those 2 piles. You'll notice almost instantly that 90% of your stress lives in the pile you were never in charge of to begin with. Second, the deathbed test. Picture yourself decades from now, at the very end, looking back. Will this moment, this specific comment, this person's disapproval, make the highlight reel? For almost everything, the honest answer is no. You won't remember the stranger's opinion. You'll remember whether you had the guts to say what you meant, wear what you wanted, love who you loved, try the thing that scared you. Let future you set the priorities for present you. Future you has better judgment. Future you isn't in the room, flushed with adrenaline, mistaking a small moment for a huge one. Third, and this one's the quiet game changer, trade the audience. You can't switch off the human need for approval, so don't try to delete it, redirect it. Instead of performing for a crowd of strangers or critics, start performing for one person, the version of you that you actually respect. Ask yourself at the end of each day, not did they like me, but would that person be proud of how I showed up today? You still get the psychological reward of being witnessed and approved of. You just finally handed the judge's seat to someone qualified to hold it, you. Do this consistently, and something shifts. Not overnight, not by force. But slowly, the volume on other people's opinions turns down, because you've stopped handing them the microphone. Here's the truth Marcus Aurelius understood from inside a palace, and Epictetus understood from inside chains. Freedom was never about controlling what people think of you. It was about realizing you never had to. You are allowed to be misunderstood. You are allowed to disappoint someone. You are allowed to be talked about in rooms you'll never enter. None of that is a verdict on your worth. It's just other people, doing what people have always done, filtered through their own fears and their own stories. Your job was never to win the jury over. It was to live in a way that, when you're finally alone with yourself at the end of the day, you don't flinch. So the next time you feel that old, familiar pull to shrink, to perform, to check the room before you speak, pause. Remember, the courtroom is empty. You cleared it yourself the moment you stopped showing up to defend a case that was never yours to argue. If this gave you a little more room to breathe, you know what to do. Subscribe, and let's keep building this out one idea at a time. Remember, think more deeply, live more intentionally, repeat the process for a lifetime of growth. Because personal transformation doesn't happen through a single insight. It happens through continuous reflection, conscious action, and the courage to keep learning what it means to be human. If you're seeking wisdom, inner growth, emotional resilience, and practical tools for living a more examined and meaningful life, you're in the right place. Until next time, think, live, repeat,